Muslim who mix with people and be patient for the hardship is far more better than the Muslim who does not mix and does not become patient on the hardship. Because when you mix, you will be exposed to the manner and the behavior of the other people, especially if you'd like to help them or try to guide them. Sometimes people let us isolate ourselves from the public and make worship and finish Quran 2 times a day. People in the good old days used to do that. Or pray 1,000 rak'ah a day. It's good, but not good enough. Why? Because once upon a time, a very holy man was worshipping Allah for 60 or 70 years. Then, as we mentioned before, that the devil is very persistent, very clever, and very adamant, and does not give up. This man looked from the window one day, found a very beautiful young girl sitting at the bank of the river. He said, okay, let me go there. He went there, started to speak to the girl after 70 years of worship. Worship in isolation is even not good for you. He started to be friendly. Within 1 hour, whatever it is, he did zina. Then he woke up from his zina, was very shocked, trying to ask Allah forgiveness. Every footstep he was just making sujood to make istighfar. Here, at-ta'ibuna started to repent till he fell down in a small ditch or whatever it is, with about 20 or so people there in the middle of the darkness. In the middle of the darkness, one good man like all of you used to come in the evening and give one piece of bread to each one of those poor people. So the piece of bread of a different man fall in his hand. The good man, like you, brother Yusuf, that's your Yusuf, or he is Yusuf, you're Danish. Very good. Was leaving, and the one man who did not get his piece of bread said, hey, where's my piece of bread? He said, I give it to everyone, khalas, I don't have it. The man who committed zina wanted the piece of bread belonged to the other man in his hand. Yes, he gave it to him. Khalas, he did not do any effort to make this piece of bread. It was not his. Actually, it was just what he did, he just gave it to the other man. And he woke. Then he died after a few hours. So here is the hisab. Because the time measurement during life is different to the time measurement during your sleep, to the time measurement in the grave, to the time measurement on the scale of the day of Allah, the time measurement on the scale of the day of judgment. You got it? Everyone is different. So he died. They wanted to measure his amal. Amal again, brother. Amal. They put the 70 years of worship on one side of his scale and the 1 hour zina in the other side of the scale. The 1 hour zina was a community crime which involves 2 people. spread diseases in the community. But the 70 years of worship in isolation was his personal worship, not a community service. So they found that the 1 hour of zina was heavier, much heavier than the 70 years of worship in isolation. So they were asking him, he was asking by Allah, anything else you have done? He said, no, 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 no. Then he remembered, oh my God, yes Allah, I gave this piece of bread to this man. He said, what is this? Put it. It was put on one side of the scale. The action of giving the piece of bread to the poor man, which wasn't his money, actually, and 1 hour of zina. So the action was heavier, much heavier than the zina. Here is the message of the hadith. When you mix with people, try to help them stand up with their rights, as once upon a time the Prophet, not one of the companions of the Prophet, Abdullah ibn Abbas, said, I have heard this, and he was pointing his finger to the place of the Prophet, said, لأن يقضي الحديث بتاعه, to go out of i'tikaf, respond to the need of your people far more better to you than making i'tikaf in my mosque for a month, sometime, another narration for a year. So the action of responding to the community's need is far more better for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than just making i'tikaf and say, oh, most time in Ramadan, to conclude, sorry, because what time is the program today? 2 o'clock? Now? Okay.
Started already.
Then I mean the children.
Then
The camp.
should be there,
Not okay. And Ramadan, sisters and brothers, which I kept saying this to everybody, not to make something special about somebody, no. We never had iftari with our family for years. You got it? No, I want to go here, I want to do that, and no. If we could have been enjoying our iftari in the first 5, 6, 7 years of Islamic life, we could not have found Islamic life nowadays. We would have been like anybody else. Our children never celebrated Eid in some years with us. Never have sihri with them. Because we were on the move in France, in Belgium, in Holland, in Germany, in UK, and in USA. From the first day till the day of Eid, and I was reminded, or somebody told me, no boss, no doc, there will be a few days after Eid. There was the differences of timing between Muslims. Somebody make Eid on Monday, somebody make Eid on Tuesday, somebody make it on Wednesday. With all of them. And this was the community service. Islam is not about the 5 pillars. بني الإسلام على 5. The foundation of Islam is 5. The foundation, not the building. The foundation, not the building. The foundation, not the building. But Islam is what you build on top of the foundation. Quite often, we misunderstand Islam by Salah, Zakah. No. This is the ritual of Islam. But what you do when you build the building, you're building because you go to Allah with this kind of service based on the 5 pillars, which is Zakah, Sawm, Hajj, Kalima, and fasting. So this kind of comprehensive restructuring and destructuring, rebuilding and building, refurbishing and refurbishing, furbishing and refurbishing. The community is our duty. It's our duty, and you cannot meet Allah without having it. 5 or 6 or 7 years, most of the key players or the leaders of Islamic faith never had the time with the family during Ramadan. We sleep in mosques, in houses of volunteers because they didn't have money. Jangir and Anwar and Shaheen, which we shipped them to America after they were qualified or graduated. They say, you know how much was the salary, sisters? Sometimes we are very particular about our job description. $1,000, just next to the social income people who can actually get social services from the government for years. And they were galloping USA like horses, north to south, and they refused to take another job, double or triple or quadruple the salary. You know why? Because they enjoyed the service they delivered. And by the way, if we are lucky, Allah will choose us. If we are lucky, Allah will choose us. Allah does not give this service to anybody because he or she has PhD, has this million or billion. No. He gives it to the heart that is submitted totally in obedience to Him. And when He sees him or her, He gives him the right step to the right direction, to the right road, to the right Jannah. When He sees me hesitant or does not, or has, will leave me till I make up my mind. And this is what we need to see in community work and in social. And by the way, not only to help Muslims. Allah, when you remember the story of this Majusi يعني إيه بالإنجليزي? The one who worship a flame. Fire worshippers, yeah. Fire. مش عارفين كلمة المجوسي كلكم. The one who worship fire.
Pagan.
Yeah, but it has another one who worship fire.
Pagan. Yeah.
He pagan, yeah. Anyway, he came to Ibrahim and عليه السلام. Ibrahim, Abu al-Anbiya, not anybody. And when Ibrahim? When Ibrahim? Yes.
Zoroastrian.
Huh?
Zoroastrian.
Can I shake your hand? Poet Rumi. And poet Fuli. Rumi and Mumi. Mumi because the Egyptians used to mummify bodies. And Mumi. And Rumi because he is from Afghanistan. Can the land of Balkh, from Balkh. We can get you in Balkh, inshallah. Anyway, when Ibrahim alayhi salam when he told him, I'm not a Muslim, he said, go away. Few seconds or few minutes after the man left, what's his name?
Zoroastrian.
Zoroastrian. Very good linguistic. Anyway, Allah told Ibrahim, I have been feeding this kafir or pagan for 60 or 70 years. Knew that he is kafir, but give him rizq. And you, Ibrahim, for one meal, refused to give it to him. Ibrahim ran after the man. The man looked back and said, I came to you, I was hungry, and you refused to give me that. He said, I'm sorry. Allah blamed me for you. Allah blamed me. said, "You're Allah. Blame you for a kafir like myself?" I said, "Yes." He told me, "How dare you do this to a man I'm feeding him for the last 70 years?" Said, "If your Allah is doing this, I became a Muslim." See, even for the non-Muslim, don't ever undermine a small action of goodness. من أدخل السرور على قلب أهل من المسلمين لم يرى الله له ثوابا إلا الجنة. Those one of you who bring happiness and joy to the heart of a household of Muslims, their rewards will be endless. Even if you draw a smile, even if you make an animal voice, even if you good morning, say that, or shake hand, kiss the hand. Even, you know this even, the even goes to the evens. The evens, which you cannot imagine. The piece of bread of the man who just gave it to the rightful was more important for Allah than 70 years of worship. That does not mean you don't worship Allah. No. But you worship, tawasaw bil-haqq. Once you say haqq, which is declare rights and human rights, have to be patient. I conclude with this because I kept saying concluding. By saying, when the Prophet ﷺ received the Quran from Jibreel alayhi salam, and he was in this status, and went to his wife, Bismillah, mashallah, Khadija radiallahu anha, and she gave him psycho-social support. Khadija of the psycho-social support policy, not whatever you see nowadays. And this is your what you call it, your pride in the Khadija's teaching. Anyway, she took him to her cousin, what's his name? Waraq ibn Nawfal. He listened to what he said. Said, "This is the great angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's giving you the message, Muhammad. And I will believe in you when the message will become revealed upon you. But a time will come, Muhammad, when your people will throw you out of Mecca." He said, "My people will throw me out of Mecca." He couldn't believe that, because his people at that time used to call him Muhammad al-Amin. Muhammad, that they give him the stone of Kaaba to put it in its place. Muhammad, that everybody used to put their trust in him. Said, "Yes, Muhammad, they will throw you out of Mecca, and I will support you." تواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. So when you stand up doing the right thing, you know what they said to Sayyidina Lut? Alayhi salam, and his people, before the angels came to destroy the 7 villages, said, "Kick them out, throw them away. إنهم أناس يتطهرون." They are purified people, purifying their life and their souls. Out. Out. تواصل بالحق وتواصل بالصبر. It's not a lecture. It's not a book you read. It's a message, the issue and mission you live for. Muhammad was so shocked and surprised that his people would throw him out of Mecca, and he was under siege for 3 years in Mecca. Thank you, brothers and sisters.